nostalgia and the shaping of the other. Where did that come from? Media has given us representations of so many different things, of how we are to be interacting with one another. So when we think about unconscious bias, which we'll talk a little bit about, and we talk about how we talk to one another, we have to understand where it came from, how this nostalgia of what we know to be true came from. I grew up with The Simpsons. I remember the first episode. I wasn't supposed to watch it. Don't tell my dad. But I remember that. And I remember growing up with this, and I remember the character Apu. Apu was a Middle Eastern Indian person who owned a convenience store. And as I got older, not growing up around folks who identified as East Indian, I actually thought that's how folks talked. I didn't have a point of reference. As a child, that's what I saw, that's what I heard, and I had nothing else to stop that stereotype from being formed. Nothing. And as I got older and I realized who Hank Azaria was, I realized this is a white dude who's making a voice. He is imitating what he thinks a person with an East Indian accent would sound like. And my thought process was absolutely shaped on that. Again, I had no point of reference to take it down. We think about our sports teams. Washington Redskins. Folks don, color their face. You know, blackface ain't the only thing you can color, right? They don this apparel and they go to the game and they forget about the slaughter of indigenous people. It doesn't even enter their mind that what they're saying is wrong. Why? Because it's tied to an emotion. It's tied to a feeling of when you went with your parents to a game, when you got a hot dog, when you saw your favorite quarterback. It's tied to a feeling. It's not tied to a people. So it's very hard for folks to break that because they honestly think that supersedes the slaughter of indigenous people. It can't be that bad. Why would you name a team after it? That nostalgia has created what we know as the other. Speedy Gonzalez. Looney Tunes. Again, what I was actually supposed to be watching. Looney Tunes. Speedy Gonzalez. Little mouse that ran really fast. And he had a catchphrase. And we all know what the catchphrase is if you've ever seen Looney Tunes. It's probably like popping in your ear right now. You know exactly what that is. So when people put on a sombrero and a mustache for Halloween, it's not offensive because they're not a people. They're not a culture. So again, this nostalgia shapes the other, these different types of people. So, because they've given me this beautiful whiteboard behind you, we're going to play a game. Y'all ready to play a game? Thumbs? Ready to play a game? All right. In the chat, give me letters. You know the game. Give me letters. Let's see. A. D. No D. Up.
D.
What was it?
E and S and M and R.
Up.
M.
Now, what game am I playing, people? What game am I playing? Hangman. Thank you. Hangman. You see how easy it is to lynch a man. The nostalgia. We know the game. Everybody, oh, let me get I know the letter. Let me put my letters in. You wanted to play the game with not ever thinking that you're lynching somebody. Because it's a part of our nostalgia. It's a part of who we are. And in that moment, it was a game. But I'm sorry to tell you, 5 men have been found in 2020 hanging from trees. It ain't no game. This is real. And we participate in it willingly. Nobody had to make you. No one in my comments said, hey. Y'all know y'all playing hangman, right? We willingly participated in it. So when we try to figure out why is this diversity and inclusion thing so bad, I had somebody say, as a black man, I shut down my browser. Already knew what he was going to have to walk into. Already knew it. Because we have been socialized that it's normal to other. Difference equals defect. And we all know it. When you see something different, you're not normal. No matter how we want to say that that's not how we really feel. I can already see folks like, oh, we're about to talk about it like that today. Oh, yes, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get into the realness today. Why? Because as leaders, it is up to you to change what you have been doing. This ain't about managing people. I can't teach you how to manage nobody. That's like herding cats. But I can show you the best tools in which to lead high-performing teams. Because the first thing you have to do is be vulnerable enough to be human with them. And that humanity is by recognizing who they are and what they bring to the table. And then also recognizing who you are and how you may isolate, how you may include.